Thank you for tuning in to Healer 888. Welcome again, welcome again. It's great to be alive in this time in the season. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming by, stopping by and checking out this video. I hope you do make it to the end, because I've come across some very interesting, non-coincidental sign synchronicities and, symbols, etc. that I felt led to share. So I hope you do make it to the end, because I've got some really interesting things, tying things together. Okay, like I mentioned before, this is not financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor. I've also not been paid in any way, shape or form to promote SHINA INU or Shiba Inu. I'm just documenting my journey and share it with you, and trust that the creator of the universe and my spirit guides, that it'll resonate with who it's meant to resonate with, and you can take it and make it for whatever it means for you. Okay, so what you're looking at on screen now is SHINA INU. I'm sure many people know about SHINA INU, but there's a lot of information, sign synchronicities with SHINA INU. But before we get to SHINA INU, I would like to take you a little step back just to tie things up. So let's face it, majority of the people know about Shiba Inu, but never understood the bigger picture behind it. Most only knew about it when it had already gone up hundreds of thousands of percent between the year 2020 and 2021. Meaning, like, $100 worth could have been like up to $1 million to $10 million today in terms of gains, in terms of value, and the small minority who had Shiba Inu didn't bother to hold on to it for those kind of gains anyway, because again, they didn't understand the bigger picture. Well, the picture, Shiba Inu had to do what it did by increasing hundreds of thousands of percent in order to get our undivided attention. Because obviously, making $100 turning $1 million, that would get majority of people's attention. Let's face it, a lot of people, their eyebrows are more raised in terms of those sort of gains. It sort of raises eyebrows, so that allows people to simultaneously all focus on one thing and get people's attention. So now it got my attention, including tens of thousands of people around the world, not just here in the UK. So whether they've invested or not, they now know about SHINA INU. That dog face, male looking dog meme coin. They now aware of what that is. It's now set center stage sort of thing. But interestingly enough, something caught my attention and raised the question: why isn't the creator and the developer of Shiba Inu has only names but no face to identify who the person really is? Unlike the likes of Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, he's got his face, we all know who he is. You got Polkadot founder Gavin Wood, we know the face of Gavin Wood is. Ripple XRP founder Jed McCaleb and Chris Larson, we know their faces. And even the likes of Doge, which is a meme coin as well, we know Elon Musk, we know the face of that. Elon Musk being the face of that project or coin. So these guys all have faces to the names to identify the creators or developers, especially for a project or coin that has taken center stage in the crypto industry and has made mainstream headlines, listed on all major exchanges, and pretty much has even endorsed by Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin publicly. But yet no one knows the faces of the developer and the founder of the project of that coin, Shiba Inu. They only know the names. Ryoshi is the founder, while Satoshi is the lead developer. Interesting. So, after Shiba Inu, Shiba, the male dog, we were referring to a male looking dog face coin. After Shiba has taken center stage in 2021 by design, in my humble opinion, and has captured the public full attention, shortly thereafter the developer and founder went on to put out articles stating that they'll be building an ecosystem for their project or the coin, Shiba Inu. And it was in that article where they mentioned the use of a stable coin and benefits of a stable coin for their ecosystem, the stability that it will bring to the ecosystem, sort of like BNB with the Binance USD stable being a stable coin pegged to the US dollar. He's also hinted on the ticker symbol being SHI, which is she. Satoshi has also mentioned introducing a treat token as a means of reward, adding more value and benefits to their ecosystem. So now we have Satoshi hinting a ticker symbol being SHI, she, which we'll come back to that in a later time. Satoshi has also hinted that treat is a decoy name, and later on in that same year, well, between September to October 2021, treat development was put on hold. Okay, and a few months later, in February, just short months later, in February 2022, SHINA INU was created anonymously with the same ticker symbol SHI, she, as mentioned by the founder of Shiba Inu, Satoshi. What a coincidence, one would thought. Well, that's only if you believe in coincidences, which I don't. Now, a month prior to SHINA, this is SHINA, that with the bow tie, you know, the female looking dog. A month prior to SHINA being launched, meaning January 2022, bearing in mind SHINA officially launched in February of 2022. So we're talking about a month before SHINA officially launched in 2022. A prophetess known by the name of Dr. Maria Conwell, gave a prophetic word about SHINA INU, and this is what she said. She mentions, in a vision on January 9th, 2022, I saw SHINA INU. It looked like Shiba's girlfriend. SHINA INU had a pink bow on her fur and exaggerated white closed eyelashes. She's a female version of Shiba Inu. SHINA INU is meant to look shy or coy with Shiba Inu. This is not on CoinMarketCap yet, but I anticipate it will be a new coin. So this coin hasn't been launched yet because it's not on CoinMarketCap. Interesting. She goes on to say the Lord recommended for me to take some Shiba profits and put into SHINA INU at the appropriate time, and etc. And what's interesting is her words, what was actually said, mentioned. And the word was the words of the Lord. Hear my people and know I, the Lord, direct your steps. I am here to help you. I am your great deliverer. My child, invest now in this new coin I will present to you. It is small and hardly known, but will grow into a great tree of produce and multiplication. This tree, remember that tree. This tree, remember that tree, is called SHINA INU. Now it is nothing, and it will grow in time and produce like a mustard seed. Remember that tree, my people. Interesting. Very interesting. And that's the end of her vision. As it says, in a vision on January 9th. So it was a vision. And, like she mentions again, now it is nothing, but it will grow in time and produce like a mustard seed. This tree is called SHINA INU. Okay, so that's the end of the dream. Maria Conroe, giving a prophetic word about SHINA INU before it's actually came on Coin Market Cap, before it's actually launched. That is very interesting. Let's move on. And that's the image of Maria Conroe prophesying of the SHINA INU. So there you can see in writing there, it lists, let's go over here, it specifies on January 9th, and on the tree SHINA INU there as well. Okay. Also, interestingly enough, this vision that Maria Conroe had is in the year 2022. Ultimately, removing the zero, take the zero away, that gives you the year, that gives you 222. Okay, more on that 222 sequence and synchronicities to come. So now we're turning our attention onto SHINA INU, the female dog meme coin, because there's so much, I believe, in regards to Shiba and SHINA INU, and there's much more to it than just financial gains or what it is. So I'm just trying to put it together, my experiences, what I'm seeing, what I've been shown by the creator, the universe, my spirit guides, etc. And I'm also piecing things together with a friend known by the name of Jay over in the US. There, I'm here in the UK, but he's in the US, where basically we've been aligned to throughout this journey. We've been aligned together, and ever since there's been some phenomenal stuff been happening between both Jay and I in regards to some spiritual connections, etc. There's so much, but anyway, let's go on to have a look at SHINA INU's white paper. This is the white paper in which it's majority of the crypto has the white paper, and it sort of gives you an outline of what their journey is, what they're looking to do, etc. So SHINA INU, what's interesting for me is having a look at this white paper, and this is where a lot of things starts to tick for me, and it will make sense here onwards. So SHINA INU white paper is to promote, the mission is to promote and encourage Shiba Inu adoption in order to unite SHINA INU and Shiba Inu. We believe they were made for each other. We believe they were made for each other. Many on our team own Shiba Inu tokens and consider ourselves a part of the SHIB army. And here is a good statement. Give to charitable organizations who have a solid track record of working towards lifting people out of poverty. Lifting people out of poverty. Okay. so we'll come back to that. So we understand their mission. They're looking to tie up, Sheba and Shina, male, female together, and be one. You can see where they're getting at here. And they're also looking to give to charitable organizations who have a solid track record. Okay, but hang on, let's have a look at something else. So, like we mentioned, they did mention about charity, correct? And they've got a particular section just for charity, like you're looking at right now. And it says the SHINA, I'm just going to give you a brief read of it. The SHINA token team mission is to make the world a better place. Remember that. Their mission is to make the world a better place. Through charitable giving, the global crypto community has incredible influence and resources. Our goal as a team is to channel some of those resources into freeing and defending those who cannot defend themselves. The global human trafficking industry is an area. Let's repeat that again. The global human trafficking industry is an area the SHINA token core team, and remember, core, that's the main, the underlining team, the start team feels strongly about. Did you hear that? We need to go back again. Let's repeat that again. The global human trafficking industry is an area the SHINA token core team feels strongly about. For more than a decade, some members of the SHINA token community has financially supported the ending of slavery. The ending of slavery. We have chosen Shared Hope International as our charitable, or one of our charitable choice, to help us accomplish those goals. And it goes on to say Shared Hope is a well-respected international organization with a 20-plus year track record of being both effective in their mission and accountable with their funding. Year after year, they receive charity. Is that? Yep, charity. Yep. So let's go back again. So year after year, they receive Charity Navigator's highest rating of exceptional. Did you hear that? They receive Charity Navigator's highest rating of exceptional. So SHINA token will be building solutions that incentivize giving to Shared Hope International. Shared Hope International, the SHINA token community will help, listen again, the SHINA token community will help eradicate the sex trafficking industry from the world and bring hope to women and children who are in hopeless situation. I need to stress this again. After this, you're gonna know why I'm stressing this fact, and I'm so much on this. The SHINA token community will help eradicate the sex trafficking industry from the world, or from around the world, and bring hope to women and children who are in hopeless situations. So they're basically saying the community will help to do that. Okay, right. So the community has a role to play. We're getting somewhere. And if you're looking at what SHINA core team value is, the global human trafficking industry is an area the SHINA token core team feels strongly about. Okay. So now, let's take a look. Here is where it gets really serious. And like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell anyone to go and buy that token. I'm not no way, shape or form doing any of that at all. I'm just putting some things together that I felt led to share, like I've mentioned before, with all the 222s, 444s going on, let's have a look. Look at this next clip. So just keep in mind about the human trafficking, the core team, and what they're focusing on. And bearing in mind, they've also mentioned the community, the SHINA community would help to eradicate the sex trafficking industry. So therefore, there's an action needs to be done, a light needs to be turned on, something needs to happen, or something is going to happen, and the community will be a part of that happening. One might ask, how is that going to be? Okay, so bear that in mind about, the sex trafficking, etc. So I guess everyone know who this is, but check this out.
The most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking.
Excuse me? Okay, let's go.
And particularly the trafficking of children. Our future is our children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
Right, so the focus is on sex trafficking, okay? Human trafficking, sex trafficking, saving children, women, you see it, okay? Look at this.
New film, Sound of Freedom, about the power of faith in overcoming evil, and in particular the evil of child trafficking. Big problem. We had it down to the lowest number in many years just 4 years ago, and now it's gone through the roof. Even though the fake news media has tried to ignore it, Sound of Freedom has been a national sensation and a colossal success at the box office. Really big numbers.
Now, are we seeing what's happening here? Mr. T is mentioning, he's adamant that we should see Sound of Freedom. He's a massive advocate of sex trafficking and the trafficking industry, and it's been one of his main roles, or his main advocacy to bring that to light and to take that down. Are we seeing what's happening here?
Everyone should see it. This is a very important film and very important movie, and it's a very important documentary all wrapped up in one.
He's emphasizing on everyone should see it. A very important movie, a very important documentary. Okay. Sex trafficking. When have we seen DJT emphasizes on a particular film or a particular, but notice he's emphasizes on the sex trafficking industry, and but let's continue.
It's really about an issue that has to be discussed. Under my leadership, we did more than any administration in history to combat human trafficking and...
Right. So he's it's very important. Everyone should see it. Okay?
Than any administration in history to combat human trafficking and to end modern day slavery. In one of my...
To end modern day slavery. Right, okay. Have I mentioned that before? Slavery. Okay.
My first acts in office, I signed an executive order targeting transnational criminal organizations.
Now, what's interesting is I'm finding it, why is he adamant to have a look at that film? But something came to me, and what stood to me was this film Sound of Freedom. So, you know, I have that sort of intuition to look at the producers of Sound of Freedom, you know, who's behind the film, like, you know, have a look at the actual producer. And to my surprise, it was amazing. So as you know, this is my sort of formula of looking, well, with my previous videos, similar things with XRP, and you know, the things that this formula kind of showed me ties up a few things. So like I mentioned, I was curious about why they keep saying it's very important, Sound of Freedom, we should check it out. You know, I'm like, okay. Personally, I've had a look at the film, but I just felt like I needed to know the person, the producer of the film. So I went and looked at the name, and lo and behold, is the person's name, as you can see there, Eduardo, is that Tiguay? Yeah, so sorry for chopping up that name there, but that's the person's name. And some interesting information came back to myself in particular, and one which was, like you can see here, I'm not sure if you can see it, maybe it's because the way I'm filming this, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but this stood out to me in particular. Don Trump e-message. Okay, and that's tied to that person's name. Wasn't we watching a video just now where Trump was alluding to sending out a particular type of message? Wouldn't that be a particular type of message, wouldn't you say? I mean, begs the question, you know, this person, Mr. Swab, names involved in that. Maybe that person has something to do with the trafficking, you know. you know, and who says this? The best is yet to come. Who always says this? Remember, this person's name, Eduardo, is the producer of the film The Sound of Freedom. And now I've just looked the name up as I normally do before. Same thing with XRP, like I said. And this is what it brings up. This person, it says best is yet to come under Eduardo's name. I'm sure that's, who says that? I mean, who usually says that? The best is yet to come. Okay. You know, another thing that resonated with me, love is the answer. You know, above all things, love is the answer. Again, another thing, the last president. I wonder who could that be? You know, Jesus' second coming. You know, and also the contaminated VC. That resonated with me, you know. Contaminated. Is there a message in the VCs that has been happening since 20, you know what? You know, so what's actually going on here? You know what I mean? Are we starting to see things aligning up? And finally, there's another, a true all psychic ability, which, you know, in general, that's something that a lot of people has problems against, psychic ability, and it's causing a huge problem amongst the community of religious and psychic, and you know, it is just, which we've got to get into more of that in due course. And as you can see here, it says religious wars as well, which is actually going on now. You know what I mean? It's what we're seeing right now. There's a lot of religious wars happening now and around the world, as you can see right now. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. It's interesting. And the final one that resonated with me or caught my attention, is the likes of like protect your DNA. Maybe subliminary messages there. One nation under God. Again, who usually says that? Brother and sister, every one of us are brothers and sisters, irrespective of the color of your skin, the country you're from, your situation or circumstances. We're all brothers and sisters, irrespective. And what also grabs my attention is, why would Satoshi Nakamoto name be under Eduardo's name as well? That in particular grabbed my attention. Satoshi Nakamoto. And we all know Satoshi Nakamoto is, the founder or the creator of Bitcoin, who created Bitcoin, years ago, I believe 2010 or whatever it was. Satoshi Nakamoto. Why is his name under Eduardo's name, the producer of Sound of Freedom? What are the messages in that? These are the things I'm picking up. But check this out. Satoshi Nakamoto's name is under that. Check this out. So I Googled Satoshi Nakamoto. So I'm like, why is Satoshi name under that? Is there messages? What's happening here? So then, looking at Satoshi, it came up, and this was basically myself and the friend that sort of saw this in terms of the SHINA in Satoshi Nakamoto's name. And in my humble opinion, that is just a picture being put there to say who created Bitcoin. And in my humble opinion, I don't believe that's the person, even though they got a face to the name, but I don't believe that is the person who is involved. But again, that's just my humble opinion, like I've mentioned. Yes, as I said, it's just my theory in terms of who the actual person who is behind it. Again, that's a deep rabbit hole. We can go down that at another time. But again, what seems to interest me is, it piques my interest and get my undivided attention is Satoshi Nakamoto. You can actually spell SHINA. Is this a code? Satoshi. So SHINA. Nakamoto. SHINA Kamoto. Sato SHINA Kamoto. Are we seeing a message in particular for SHINA, relating back to the trafficking, relating back to DJT, pushing the narrative, turning the lights on that particular narrative? Are we seeing this? Could this person be somewhat, indirectly aligned to this particular movement project? It begs the question. And I am totally behind the actual SHINA. in particular of what the use case of it is and what it will be doing in the real world. There's so many coins, so many cryptos come around, and it's like, golly, you guys, it's just everyone they just want to just focus on money and gains. Everyone's focus is about money and gains, but there's a bigger picture happening here where DJT is turning a light on this industry and how bad it is and what needs to happen. And everyone's more focused on, oh, I need to make the money, and oh, it's just the money. But who's actually caring about the situation? Whose awareness is up, awareing of the situation that is at hand? And as Mel said in that video that I just played earlier, the first thing in order to eradicate that is to have awareness. If you're aware of the situation, you can now deal with it. But if you're not aware, how do we then deal with it? So there's a bigger picture at play here with what's happening here. And everyone's focused about gains and their money and what they can make, and what my project is doing and what this, and and it's appalling. It really is. But anyway, that's for another video. I don't want to get wrapped up into this. I just want to sort of keep it focused and let you have just put the pieces of the puzzles together and see if it fits, like I said. But again, we shouldn't be focused on just, what the gains are and the amount of money I'm going to make and that's it. Like, no, there's a much more bigger picture at play, especially for the ones who believe they have been chosen to come out and do things and step out of their, and step into their true nature, especially for the ones who believe they're for the body of Christ, You got to get away from that mindset of, just focus on myself and myself only, and just, I just want to make sure I'm okay, and that's it. Like, there's a bigger picture at play, and we've been called to come forward to make a huge change. And I see people arguing back and forth about religious, and religion is against psychic is saying this about, and I'm like, what's going on? We've been unified, we've been chosen to, we've been aligned together. People from around the world don't know each other. We have no idea who that person is. That's from all over, way over there across the other side of the world. But we've been chosen, we've been aligned in this time, in this season, to come together, to make a change, not only for yourself, but for the greater good of humanity, for the children's children, and leave a great footprint in the sand. But yet people get caught up about religious beliefs, and I'm choosing this way, and if it's not this way, you're not part of my group, or you're not part of my team. Everyone forgets about love. Unconditional love. Divine love. Universal love. And thy Creator's love. And that's what matters in this time, in this season. With a pure intention. And we're all being aligned together to come out, look into ourselves, Instead of pointing the fingers at others first, check yourself.